Alright, now let's take a look at some of the examples of control statements. Now you need to open this file, if-else-if example, under the project control statements. Now you probably must be seeing the whole program written. What I would suggest is to select the entire content and delete it and write from scratch and follow along with me. That way you will have better learning. Okay, what we're going to do in this example is we're going to demonstrate the if-else-if example. So what our program does is, as a user, I'm going to enter a certain number, and if the number falls in within a certain range, there is a title, a chess title associated with it. For example, if the number falls in between 2200 and 2300, the title that we're going to display is Candidate Master. If the number is between 2500 and 3500, then we're going to display the title as Grandmaster. So let's see how it goes. First of all, we need to write a program to take the input from the user. And for that, we're going to use these 3 lines of code. Obviously, at this point of time, you probably don't understand these lines of code, and I suggest not to try to understand, because we're going to talk about them when we talk about classes, constructors, methods, which we're going to cover in our future chapters. But for now, what these 3 lines of code does is, when I run this program, you're going to see this text being displayed on the console, and then it will wait for the user to enter a certain integer value. So let's see how it goes. But before we run this, there's an error to be fixed. Let's see what it is. Let's click on this light bulb, and it has shown some suggestions on how to fix it. What we're going to do is we're going to import this particular class. Obviously, you don't know what import means, but we'll talk about it when we talk about packages. So let's save the program by pressing Ctrl S and run the program. Of course, we can't run it from here. We're going to run from here. Run file. We were prompted with the message, enter your chess rating. Now we'll enter something, and we hit return or enter. That's it. So it is basically taking the input from the user and sort of storing that value in the integer variable rating. Now we're going to do something with this. Now, coming to the syntax of if-else statement, this is how it is. If a Boolean expression, this expression must and should result in a Boolean value, that means either true or false. And if this condition is true, then it's going to enter inside this block. In case if this condition is false, it's going to enter, the control is going to enter and look after this else if statement. And it will check this condition. If it is true, execute this statement. If it is false, go ahead with other statements. The control keeps going till the condition is met, or if none of the condition is met, then there is only one case with the word else. The statements inside this block will get executed. Now let's get rid of, or wait, let's keep this and try to write our program. If rating is greater than 2200 and rating is less than 2300, then we're going to display system.out.println Candidate Master. In order to save your time, I'm going to copy paste the code which I've already written. Let's expand it. So what we're doing here is, if the value that the user enters, in this case it's me, falls in between this range 2200 and 2300, we're going to display the message candidate master, because this is the title given to a chess master with the rating that falls in between these two numbers. And similarly, if the rating falls in between 2300 and 2400, he's going to be given with the title FIDE master. And we have international master for this range. We have grandmaster for this range. And if the rating is lesser than 2300, then we're gonna give him the title of future grandmaster. Actually, there is no such title called future grandmaster, just that this is the minimum expected rating for any kind of title in the chess world. So if the rating is less than that, then we're gonna assume that he will be a grandmaster pretty soon. And else, if none of these conditions are met, then that probably means the rating is way greater than or greater than the 3500, which is the max rating which we have here. In that case, we're going to call him a human computer. So let's see how it goes. Let's run the program. Okay, I'm going to enter the value 2444. He is an international master because the number which I have just entered falls within this range, and the control entered this block and executed. Now let's try to give something like 2600. Let's rerun the program. Here's a grandmaster. Great. Let's expand the file. Now I have intentionally left a bug in this logic. Could you find it in, say, a couple of minutes? Pause the video and try to find the bug. Okay, let's see what the issue is. Let's run the program. I give the rating of 2500. He's certainly not a human computer. He's supposed to be grandmaster. What is the issue? We said if the number falls in between 2500 and 3500, but what we didn't say is if it is equals, if the rating is exactly equals to these numbers, what should be the rating. So what we need to do is, if number is greater than or equal to 2200, then it's supposed to be candidate master. If the rating is greater than or equal to 2300, FIDE master, etc. I believe this is supposed to be 2200 because that's the minimum rating we have. That's a quick fix. Sorry about that. We're good to go. I think we're in good shape. Let's run the program again and try to see if that works. If by entering 2300 would give us FIDE master, we're good.